مرحبا وأهلا وسهلا in our new video. If this is your first time watching us, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, if you like what you see, please don't forget to like, share, and put a comment and let us know what would you like to see next in our future videos. إذا كنت عربي أو عربية لا تنسوا تفعلوا الترجمة علشان تقدروا تشوفوها وتقروا اللغة العربية على الفيديو. So, I originally come from a beautiful city in Palestine called Nablus. It's an ancient city with a great history and it's very famous with lots of amazing things like the Nabulsi cheese, the Nabulsi soap, which is the most healthiest soap. It's made only using extra virgin olive oil, and of course the Nabulsi sweets. Nobody can compete Nablus with its sweets. And one of the most popular sweets among Nabulsi people, and then it started to spread with other cities, is Tamria. Actually, Tamria has a very deceiving name. You see, in Arabic, the word tamr means dates. So anyone hears the word Tamriya thinks that this sweet is based off dates or tamr. But actually, the original name of this sweet is Tamriya. In Arabic, we have two letters in our alphabet. Ta or ta, it sounds like a T in English, and ta, which is like a thicker or a heavier ta. And the original name is Tamriya. Tamriya comes from the word tamr. Tamr in our local dialogue and in Arabic means that you are covering something from head to toe, or like burying something with other things. We usually say in Palestine, tamartni bilutfak. It means you covered me totally with your kindness. And from that word came the name Tamriya, because we bury the sweet semolina filling in a layer of dough, and then we bury that piece of Tamriya in oil to fry it. And from that comes the word Tamriya. Today we're gonna make Tamriya the authentic Nabulsi way. We're gonna make the dough from scratch, and it's a very simple dough, and then we're gonna make the filling, and then we're gonna assemble it and fry it. If you are gonna use any other dough like filo pastry or puff pastry or whatever shortcut pastry, please don't call it Tamriya. Call it anything else but Tamriya. It's like when people make something from beans like kidney beans and they call it hummus. Well, if you don't use hummus in making hummus, you should not be calling it hummus. So we're gonna start by making the dough. Here I have 3 cups of flour with dash of salt and 1 cup of warm water. It's a very simple dough. There is no yeast or sugar or anything, just the flour, the water, and the salt. I have my dough hook attached, and then I'm gonna start until I get a soft, non-sticky dough. So here I have my dough. It's soft, nice. A little bit sticky, but that's okay. And I'm covering my hand with a little bit of oil. So, of course, since flour differs from one place to the other and from one type to the other, while kneading the dough, look at how much water you need. You might need less water or a little bit more water. I used a little bit more than 1 cup of water, so I started with 1 cup of water and I had to add like another 1/4 cup to get to this consistency. So after the dough is done, here I have like a baking dish or a pan or a plate, whatever you want, and it's covered with canola oil or vegetable oil. And then I'm gonna cut my dough into balls. It's like lemon-sized balls, this size, and then put them in the oil like this. So my whole dough now is all cut into those balls. I'm gonna cover it and then leave it to rest for at least an hour. The longer it rests, the better, because it will be much easier to work with. And then we're gonna go and start making the filling. Now we're gonna start making the filling. I have here 3 cups of fine semolina, 3 cups of sugar, and no, it's not too much sugar because this is the only source of sweetness for this dessert or for tamriya. We're not gonna put it into sugar syrup like most of the other Middle Eastern desserts. Again, we have 3 cups of fine semolina, 3 cups of sugar, and 6 cups of water. We're gonna turn the heat on, and you're gonna keep stirring until all the semolina cooks and this mix thickens. As you can see here, the mix started to thicken. It's thicker than a pudding right now. So we're gonna keep stirring until it's really thick. And then we're gonna add like 1 to 2 teaspoons of orange blossom water. You can also use Mastic if you like, with or without the orange blossom water. And we're gonna mix a little bit more. See how thick it is now? This is how thick we want it. And now we can turn the heat off. Just mix. And we're gonna spread this in a big pan to cool down completely. So I have a clean pan here. I'm gonna shake it a little bit, just to help with it, spreading it out. Needs to be really thick. And now when it cools down, it's gonna get hard because we're gonna fill the dough with it. If it's like loose or soft, it will come out from the dough when you fry it. So we don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna leave this to cool completely, and our dough is resting. And then we'll come back for like how we're gonna prepare the tamriya and then later on fry it. Now we have the dough well rested, and we have the filling cold and ready to be used. So we're gonna start making the tamriya. I've already made a couple of pieces in here. So we'll take 1 piece of dough, and then we're gonna try to spread it or flatten it as thin as we can. Just need to be careful with it so you don't trip it. Then I'm gonna cut it into 4 pieces. I'm gonna put some of the filling in the middle, and then I'm gonna fold the dough on top of it so I can cover or atmor the filling to make the tamriya, and then flatten it a little bit with your hand, and here's your tamriya. Then I'm gonna put it here on the pan. Do another one. Gonna put some filling in the middle. Then I'm gonna fold the dough on top. Make sure that the filling is not coming out from any side. And then you flatten it a little bit with your hand, and here it is. So now I'm done with preparing all the tamriya pieces, and we are ready to fry. Here I have my pan, and I have oil enough just to cover the tamriya when I put it in. I think it should be ready now, so we can put the tamriya in the oil. Make sure that when you put the tamriya in, that the folded part, where you folded the dough on top of the filling, is at the bottom and not at the top, because if it's at the top, it might the tamriya piece might open and the dough might open. You don't want to do that. So make sure that when you first put that tamriya piece in oil, that the folded part is at the bottom.